Once upon a time, there was a man named Jonah. God told him to go to the big city of Nineveh and tell the people to turn away from their evil ways and start worshiping God instead. But instead of listening to God, Jonah decided to run away. He ran to the harbor and jumped on a boat going the opposite direction. Soon he was on his way to the far-off land of Tarshish. Now, God didn't like it when Jonah disobeyed him, so he did something to teach Jonah a lesson. God made a big and scary storm come over the sea. The wind was so strong that the boat was about to break apart. The men on the boat were scared. They thought the sea was angry because they had done something wrong. So they started throwing all their stuff into the sea to make it stop. But it didn't help. Then Jonah remembered that he had done something wrong. He hadn't listened to God, and he knew that God was mad at him. So Jonah stood up and told the men on the boat, "I know why the sea is so angry. It's because I haven't listened to what God told me to do. I should be on my way to Nineveh, but I ran away. I think the only way to make the sea calm down is for me to go into the sea." The men on the boat didn't want to lose Jonah, but they also wanted the sea to calm down. So they asked him if he was sure that this was the only way. Jonah said yes, and the men started crying as they prepared to say goodbye. Then they threw Jonah into the sea. As soon as Jonah hit the water, the storm stopped. And even though he had been in the sea for a long time, he wasn't tired or wet. But then something amazing happened. A huge fish swallowed him whole. Now this wasn't just any fish. God had made this fish especially for Jonah. It was a great big fish that would later become known as a whale. And you might be wondering, how did Jonah get out of the belly of the whale? Well, let me tell you, when Jonah was inside the dark and wet belly of the fish, he started to remember what God had told him to do. He remembered that he had not listened to God and that he had run away instead of going to Nineveh. Jonah felt very bad about what he had done. He started crying and praying to God and thanked God that even when he didn't listen, God still loved him and hadn't given up on him. And Jonah promised God that he would never disobey him again. After 3 days and 3 nights, God told the fish to spit Jonah out onto dry land. So the fish spit Jonah out, and he was very happy to be alive. He had learned an important lesson about listening to God, and he knew that God had a plan for him. Now that Jonah was free from the belly of the fish, he went to the city of Nineveh just like God had told him to. He walked through the streets and told everyone he met to turn away from their evil ways and start following God instead. And amazingly, everyone in the city believed what Jonah told them. This included the king of Nineveh. All of them repented and turned to God. When God saw that the people of Nineveh had repented, he was very happy. He had planned to destroy the city because of how evil it was. But now he wouldn't do it. Jonah had done what God had asked him to do, and because of that, the people of Nineveh had turned away from their evil ways and now they would live. So this is the story of Jonah and the whale. Do you know anyone who has done something wrong but then asked God for forgiveness and changed their ways? Share your thoughts below. Long ago, in a far-off land, there was a man chosen by God to deliver an important message. His name was Jonah. But Jonah didn't want to do what God had told him. He wanted to go the opposite direction. So he ran away. He went to a nearby city. There, he found a ship ready to sail across the big sea. Jonah paid the sailors to let him ride with them. He hid on the ship, hoping to escape and start a new life far away. But God had a plan of his own. He sent a big storm to shake the ship. The waves crashed and the wind blew hard. The sailors were scared. They prayed to their gods for help. Meanwhile, Jonah was sleeping. But the rocking of the ship woke him up. He knew the storm was because of him. The sailors came to Jonah and asked him, "Why did you do this to us? Tell us what you did wrong so we can fix it." Jonah told them the truth. "I'm supposed to go to a far-off city called Nineveh, but I ran away. I'm sure the storm will stop if I leave the ship." The sailors didn't want to lose Jonah, but they also wanted the storm to end. So they asked him to pray to his God for help. Jonah closed his eyes and talked to God. He asked God to forgive him and to save him from the raging sea. After he finished his prayer, the sailors threw him into the sea. The waves around Jonah seemed to calm down, but then a huge fish swallowed him whole. Inside the fish, it was dark and wet. Jonah missed the sun and fresh air. But after a while, he remembered why he was there. It was because he had not listened to God. He prayed to God, asking for forgiveness and promising to listen to God in the future. 3 days passed. On the third night, Jonah prayed to God again. He thanked God for not giving up on him and for sending the fish to save him from the sea. Suddenly, the fish spit Jonah out on some dry land. Now Jonah's adventure was over, but his mission wasn't. God had told him to go to Nineveh, and Jonah knew he had to go there now. So he walked towards the city, carrying the message from God. When Jonah reached the city gates, he told the guards, "Tell the king of Nineveh that God wants him to turn away from his evil ways." The king listened to Jonah and believed him. He called all the people of Nineveh and told them to turn away from their evil ways. Everyone in the city changed their ways, and God was happy. You see, God didn't want to punish the people of Nineveh. He wanted them to turn away from their evil ways and follow him instead. Because of Jonah's bravery in delivering God's message, the people of Nineveh repented, and the city was saved. And that's the end of the story of Jonah and the whale. What did you think of the story? Did you learn any lessons from it? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more exciting Bible stories. Until next time, God bless you. Thanks for watching BibleLens.